Well, now that all bets are on Mayor Byron Brown becoming the next president and CEO of Western Regional OTB, the Common Council is dealing with the political fallout. As we told you earlier in the show, the OTB approved a contract offer today, and we're expecting to hear from the mayor on Monday.
Fillmore District Councilmember Mitch Nowakowski joins us now to give us some reaction to today's news. Thank you so much for being here. Let's first talk about what happens here to the Common Council now. Scanlon, we know, will move up. Obviously, this isn't exactly set in stone, but say it is next week. He moves up. What happens to the Common Council? That seat is vacant-ish.
Ish is important. So according to the city charter, the council president becomes the acting mayor and will not have voting power on the Common Council. And that section of the charter basically was kind of created in the 70s when this happened after Frank Sedita. And it actually, in the section of the charter, allows the council president to return back to the remainder of his term on the Common Council if he chooses to not run or lose a mayoral election. Thus, our corporation council has told us the seat is not vacant. Technically, to be filled.
And that is because if Chris Scanlon becomes the interim mayor, as everyone expects him to, he will be filling the unexpired term of Mayor Byron Brown, the current mayor, and that is about a year left. So he will have to rerun, and this race is expected then to really take off during the primary in June. So the argument for this is to say, hey, while Chris Scanlon is being the mayor, we need voting power for that South District. What happens with that when it's vacant? Shouldn't there be someone to give residents in the South District the ability to have representation on council?
It's a really good question, and that's what leaves us within a charter pickle. We have to make sure that if we make changes, that we do so legally. So the two sections of the city charter that point to this were either done by a referendum already approved by the voters of the city, and the other section is under the mayorship section of the charter, and the Common Council can never dilute or change the section of the mayor. We could never alter it just by voting power. Only the residents can do that. So we've acknowledged that we are kind of in a charter funk. So we're in this position because of the date, the political calendar that the mayor is choosing or has gotten this offer. Because if it was before August 5th, it would have gave the Board of Elections enough time to commence an election. We're technically going to be less than a month away before the November election, and that's not enough time to get someone on the ballot so that the voters can speak. So I want, and then it puts the Common Council in a position that technically could appoint somebody that the voters of the South District didn't pick and then give them the voting rights and powers. And if I'm kind of like a history buff of the Common Council, and most people that the Common Council sometimes appoint in the seat, they oftentimes go to an election and lose because the voters have to speak. So the mayor, acting mayor Chris Scanlon, I'm sure will make sure that the South District is taken care of. He has a monumental challenge ahead of him, but he's pragmatic. He knows the city of Buffalo. He's been around for 12 years, and he's a really hard worker. So if I was one of his residents, I wouldn't be worried. He's going to take care of you.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about Scanlon. He could be our next mayor very soon here. What have you seen from him? You work alongside him all the time.
I worked under him as a legislative staffer, and were given assignments by him when I worked for council staff. So Council President Scanlon is very nuts and bolts. He knows how city government works. City government is every single day. You're responding to fires, you're responding to shootings, infrastructure, lighting, every problem unimaginable. The city has to be the first responder to do it. And I have confidence that we're going to be okay under Chris Scanlon. I know change is tough. After 20 years, people are saying, oh my God, well, who is this guy? Are we going to be okay? I'm running around City Hall and the city of Buffalo saying, we will be okay.
Okay.
All right, so you have been on this couch many times before. You are the chairman of the finance committee for the city. We have talked about the importance of this coming budget season when the city is really staring down the potential of a $40+ million budget hole. That is a big, big deal that you guys must deal with come this spring, or even maybe a little bit before. If nothing happens, if you have your way and that seat in the South District remains unfilled, then that sets up an even number of council members for budget season in the spring. Do you think that sets up a potential problem for the city to actually get its budget on time if it's 4v4 You got an 8 number. Now you need the odd, right?
Good question. I don't think so, because if I was the majority leader and I was whipping votes to get something passed, you can still get to 5 with 8 members there. It just means that you have to work together, and that's the beauty of the Common Council and numbers. Yes, it's going to be not particular that we have 9, but the fact of the matter is we're here to govern. We're here to get things done. We're not Washington. We don't act at Albany sometimes. We're the Buffalo Common Council, and we need to deliver services, and I'm confident that the council, no matter under what circumstance, no matter who is the acting mayor, no matter how many members we have, will come to a consensus and vote on a budget.
All right. Council member, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.